Welcome back to 50 States,
50 plates,
where we explore America one plate at a time. Each week we choose a state and we show you a famous regional dish from that state. This week we chose Washington, and you might be surprised as to what we're making. Last week we had Utah and we made funeral potatoes, and they did not disappoint. They were so good. If you missed that video, I will link it right here, and I always have the playlist linked below. If you send in pictures from Utah, don't worry, you'll get to see those at the end of this episode, so stay tuned. Also, if you have pictures from Washington that you want to send us, it needs to be a picture that you took. I will feature it at the end of next week. So just send it to mystate@mandyinthemaking.com. So we had a lot of fun trying to figure out what it was that we were going to make for Washington. There were a lot of different options. There's cedar plank salmon. I didn't want to go the seafood route. Also, there was something that I saw that was a teriyaki plate that is very specific to the Seattle area, that is very well known. Thought about making that, but then we ran across just a gem of an idea, and that is the Seattle dog. It's a hot dog made in a specific way. Nothing, no big deal, right? Except this hot dog features cream cheese, which if you are familiar with my channel, you know my husband does not really love savory type things with cream cheese included. I knew at that point that we had to make a Seattle dog. I'm excited to give it a try. Cream cheese with hot dogs. I'm gonna be real honest, it doesn't sound good, but we're gonna give it a try. We're outside in front of our green giants. I'm wearing all green. That's because Washington is known as the Evergreen State. It is the only state flag in the US that is green, and the only one to feature a real person. It's got George Washington on there. Let me tell you a little fun fact about that. The original image of George Washington on the Washington state flag, they were in a hurry. So they used the image from a Smith Brothers cough syrup box. Now, it's no longer that image, but they were in a hurry and they just needed an image of George Washington. So they used one from a cough syrup box on their original state flag. So we don't have a lot of prep to do. We're gonna get started in here. Today, we're gonna do pretty much all of it out on the Blackstone. So Stephen is gonna be in charge of cooking, but stay tuned. If you are not interested in this particular recipe, I am doing a dessert recipe, and it sounds really good. So you're gonna get to see me bake today. Y'all know I'm not a baker. It ought to be a good time.
All right, Choppy Chopperton.
So here's the thing. The Seattle dog is famous for having almost caramelized onions on top, as well as some cooked jalapenos. You could do pickled jalapenos if you want to, but we're gonna use this very large jalapeno. So I need to cut this onion up into slivers and then also cut our jalapeno up. We switched places because I was crying.
She started tearing up.
Somebody made me cry, and it wasn't this guy.
Just want to cut around this membrane and the seeds so it won't be too hot.
So for this, you could do just regular hot dogs, but we are doing these cheddar smoked sausages.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. You could also do like brats, Polish sausage, whatever. He's going to do something to these to make it a little easier to grill them.
We're going to take our knife here and we're just going to...
He's not cutting them all the way through.
Not all the way through.
He's basically butterflying these bad boys so that they will lay flat on the Blackstone. Or on your cast iron skillet, however you're doing it. So there we go. So the Seattle dog was created in the 1980s by a guy named Hadley Long. He had a bagel cart, and one day he just decided that he was going to put a hot dog inside of a Bialy's. I think that's how you say that. I could be wrong. I'll put that here on the screen. It's a cousin to the bagel, but basically he had this bagel cart. He decided, I'm going to add a hot dog to it. And bagels come with cream cheese. So that's kind of how this was born. And it is a favorite in that area. So we're going to see.
Get your hot dogs. Hot dogs here. Get your hot dogs.
Okay. What happened to your voice there, sir?
I don't know. Come get your hot dogs. Hot dogs here. It's fired up and ready to go.
The amount of pollen that we had to wipe down out here today, he had a cover over this, thank goodness. So this wasn't covered in pollen. But we're going to eat outside today. And y'all, I can't tell you how many times I've been out here and wiped pollen already. But we have not had any rain to knock the pollen down. So we've been out here sneezing too. It's not fun. So we're going to cook the onions in butter. And like I mentioned, they're almost caramelized. They're going to cook kind of low and slow for about probably 10 minutes or so.
Mandy said, look, does it need more butter? And I said, no, but we can put some more on there.
I just wanted a little more butter on there. Look at them fingers. The key is he just keeps them moving. You don't want them to burn on the bottom, so he's just been over here doing this the entire time. He is finishing everything up. He wanted me to mention that you can do this on the stovetop in a pan. You don't have to have a Blackstone to do this. We just decided, since it's a nice day outside and we haven't fired up a Blackstone in a minute, he would come out here and do this for me.
The flat top does make it a little easier to do.
Yeah. You got more room to work with, for sure.
More room to do stuff with.
Yeah. Washington is the birthplace of many global giants. Think Starbucks, Amazon, Boeing, but it is also the birthplace of the world's most famous cinnamon roll. It's a very popular chain, and a lot of times, maybe not today because malls aren't really a thing anymore, but when you would walk into the mall, you could smell these cinnamon rolls from this particular company. Who is it? All right, sir.
They're not fully caramelized.
Nope, but they smell and look amazing.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so step 1 done. Step 2 is to cook the jalapenos. He added a little olive oil down. There we go. Looking good.
We have weaponized these jalapenos.
Yeah, we have.
We've made tear gas.
Yeah.
The fun part.
Smart. All right. That's not going to take long at all. Lovely. Those are beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to take those off and put them here, and then we will toast those buns up. So if we open them completely flat, they're probably going to break. So we're just kind of heating them up at this point just to make the cream cheese easier to spread.
Prime cheese.
It just feels so wrong. I'm sorry, but it does. But you know what? Maybe it'll be great and it's going to surprise us. So if you guessed Cinnabon to our trivia question, you were correct. Cinnabon was created back in 1985 and became super popular really quickly. Fun fact.
I've never had a Cinnabon.
How has he never had a Cinnabon? When he said that, I just looked at him like he had 4 heads. What?
Cinnabon like the Autobahn?
No, we need to correct that, sir. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's not mayo,
I'm
y'all.
loading them up.
That is not mayo. I know it looks like it, but it's not.
Them dogs a hunt right yonder.
Onion.
Onions here. Peppers on top here.
And now we're just gonna add a little bit of sriracha on top too, or a lot of it in his case. I want less than that, FYI.
All right. All right, here we go. Ready? That's good. That's really good. The cream cheese is not like, it's subtle.
Okay.
A little sweetness, sweet was the spicy,
Yeah.
but then the sweetness mixed in with the savory, smoky sausage. Man, that's good. It's kind of got a little tang to it.
I'm so glad.
It's got a little tang to it.
You like that?
That's good.
Well, who knew? Hot dogs with cream cheese. The Boeing factory in Everett has the largest building in the world by volume. It is so big that even clouds have kind of created inside of this building.
What?
They build airplanes there. It needs to be huge. But yeah, it almost has its own little weather system inside of this building.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Thing is massive. I do know that.
Yeah. All right, darling.
Gracious.
Takes a little minute to get in there.
The cream cheese is pretty much kind of melted. So it's a very creamy cream cheese.
Yeah.
It's not like it's cold. It doesn't make sense, but it's a very smooth flavor.
Sweet, smoky, little tang action going on in there.
That's really good.
Those caramelized onions, that butter on there, just magical stuff happens with that.
Okay, I really like this.
This could be something you could find at the fair or
Oh, I'm sure they do.
maybe a baseball game or something
I'm
like
sure
that.
they do, yeah.
Football games. Good stuff.
Okay, I see why they do it.
Yeah.
It's not something I would ever think to do, but I'm a fan.
So I kind of wish I had a little bit more cream cheese on there.
I cannot believe this man just said, I want more cream cheese on this. You gonna dip it in there?
That ain't bad.
Would you order that?
No. I mean, I would now, but like,
That's what I meant now.
yeah, I would now.
Okay.
It's just a little different, sweet, When the sriracha kind of mixes with it, it
Yeah.
kind of creates this like tangy flavor.
Right.
But it's not like overpowering. It's not like a punch in the face or nothing like that.
Okay, good.
It's just something a little interesting.
Washington produces the most apples out of the United States. I think 60% of our apples come from there. They produce 10 to 12 billion apples a year. That's enough apples to wrap around the earth 29 times. If you like the Cosmic Crisp apple, it is an apple variety that was created in Washington at Washington State University. Okay, so Washington is known for their apples. They grow so many apples, so I couldn't do a Washington video without doing something with apples. Now, we could have incorporated apples into a dinner recipe, but apparently there is a cake called an apple cake that is a Washington apple cake, and that's what we're gonna make. Now look here, we could do everything from scratch. We could. And a great baker probably would. I am not a great baker. So I found a recipe using cake mix, some instant vanilla pudding, and then of course we're gonna be using apples. We're using Granny Smith today. But I've got all the ingredients out. It seems pretty simple. I do, believe it or not, I have a bundt pan. I've used it maybe 3 times ever, and I've had it for 15 years. But we're gonna use it today. Now, the recipe says to use about a pound of apples. We need to peel them and then coarsely chop them. I think I've discussed this before. Anytime I peel an apple, I always use a knife. I don't use a peeler. Do y'all use one? I don't know, I always use a knife. I always have, and I guess I always will. Because I thought about it, I thought, well, maybe I should grab the peeler, but you know what? No, that feels wrong to me. We're going with a knife. So we're gonna go with about 2.5 apples. You need about a pound, and these apples were a pretty good size. So I feel like 3 would be a little too much, so I'm just coarsely chopping it like it said. Okay, we're done. We need to move kind of quickly, you know, they'll start to kind of brown and not look great. So let's assemble everything. Let's put the oven at 350. Okay, so we're gonna take this box of yellow cake mix. Then we have a 3.4 ounce thing of vanilla instant pudding. Next, we need 4 eggs, 2/3 a cup of water, a 1/2 cup of oil. I'm using canola oil. We need a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a 1/2 cup of sour cream. Now we just need to beat all of this together until it's kind of smooth. All right, that is done. Now we just need to add in our apples. Let's just mix all of that in really well. And that's all we have to do for this part. Now we'll just make a very simple icing to kind of go over top of it, that'll drizzle over top of it. But this is my kind of baking. I can do this. All right, let's grab our bundt pan and grease it. Let's pour that in there. Okay, it is all in there. Our oven just finished preheating. Okay, it's got to bake for 1 hour to 1 hour and 5 minutes at 350. It has been 1 hour, so let's take this out. I have to tell you, my house smells so delicious. It smells like fall time in here with that cinnamon and apple. I mean, it rose beautifully. It looks great. Let's stick a toothpick in there and make sure we're done. Oh yeah, we're done. It comes out clean. That's wonderful. Okay, we're gonna let this sit for about 15 minutes here, and then we'll put it on a cooling rack and let it cool completely. It is still very, very warm, so I'm gonna let this cool for probably another 45 minutes. It's 2 o'clock now, so probably around 3, we will ice this and give it a try, but it smells amazing, and it was so easy. Okay, so we're gonna make our glaze to go on top. We need 3/4 a cup of powdered sugar. We're also gonna add about a teaspoon of water, and we need to add a couple of tablespoons of sour cream. And we're just gonna mix all of that together. Beautiful, look at that. And I'm just gonna take this, transfer it over here to this cake plate that I have. It has a lid that I can put over top of it. Now let's just drizzle this over top. Y'all, I am so excited because it's like 2:45-ish, which means it's not too late to have coffee. I'm about to make me a coffee to go along with this because this screams I need coffee. So I'm gonna finish this up, let it sit for just a second while I go make coffee, and then we're gonna try this. I need to go grab Steven as well. We're not gonna waste any of this glaze.
Coffee and cake. All right, so what do we got here?
A Washington apple cake.
All right. Are the apples from Washington?
They are from a place called Food Lion.
Okay.
So I don't know about whether they're from Washington or not.
let's cut into this cake. Ooh, yeah, it's very bouncy. Now
Ooh.
that right there looks
You can
amazing.
see the apple pieces in there.
Man, yes. I get the first taste.
And apparently you get the only piece.
Oh, this is mine.
I'm saying I don't have a piece. But you do you, boo.
Okay, I forgot.
Golly.
That was pretty selfish of me.
How about give me a piece too?
Got a little bit too excited and said,
Yeah.
man, you ain't got none.
Oh my goodness.
There's
Look at
your-
all that apple in there.
I'm telling you what. Man, look how bouncy that thing is. Golly. Melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just like totally disintegrates. You did it.
I did. Drink you some coffee to go with it too. Put the pinky up. There you go. Yeah.
Delicious.
Oh, I'm so glad.
If you got some vanilla ice cream, maybe you can serve some of that with it.
Yeah, that would be good.
Baby, baby, baby.
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna dig in and see what I think. Here's my coffee over here. I'm so excited. Oh man.
Isn't that delicious?
It's sweet, but not too sweet.
It just melts in your mouth.
That little bit of cinnamon with those
Yeah,
apples.
cinnamon and apple flavor. Amazing. Complete.
Coffee with it.
Yep,
It's the best day ever.
it is.
All right, so let's put the lid on this. And then I need to grab the cookie jar so we can pick next week's state. I need to hear what you think it's gonna be.
I'm going with Ohio.
Ohio. Minnesota.
All right.
I had to think about that one.
Okay,
All right, I have it. You ready?
I'm ready. We are going to
Ooh.
the great state of Maryland.
Okay, so what do we think? I mean, I'm thinking it's gonna be some type of like chowder or like maybe New England clam chowder. I don't know. Some type of seafood for sure.
Yeah, could be, maybe, I don't know.
Maryland, Baltimore.
Right?
Okay, I think it's a seafood, which makes
We'll
me
see.
happy that I didn't do a seafood this week because we would be doing a seafood again next week. I don't think I can get away from doing seafood for this one.
Are you sure?
I think we'll
I don't
probably have to
know.
do it. I don't know. We'll see.
Right now, someone is writing a comment in all caps,
Uh-huh.
and they're telling us what it is. Right now, they're
What
doing
we're
it.
going to make for Maryland.
Yeah, it's happening
I
right
mean,
now.
I have to say, somebody commented last week, Seattle dogs, and they said it's hot dogs with cream cheese. And I remember reading that and being like, what? And then when I did my research, they were right. So
Yeah.
y'all going to have to let us know if you're from Maryland, if you're from that area, what do you think we're going to make next week?
Yeah, and then, for those of you in Maryland, look in the comments, and if there's one that stands out, like that
Yeah,
comment.
make sure you like the comment. If it's already commented, like that comment so I can see that. That helps.
Yeah.
That helps us when we're doing our research too. But let's go color in the map.
Let's do it.
While I'm looking for the green that we're going to use, I'm going to show y'all the pictures from Utah. So of course, with it being the evergreen state, we were looking for a green. We found one called pine green. So I feel like that is the perfect color for Washington.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it is. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. The evergreen state. We are done. Now we're going all the way back over here to Maryland. It's kind of a funky little shape, but I'm excited. So thank y'all for being here. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed both the Seattle dogs and the Washington apple cake. I know we did. You should make both of them. We highly recommend. Washington did not disappoint. Now let's check out Maryland next week. Bye y'all.